Here's something that doesn't make sense. Japan has one of the lowest addiction rates in the developed world. Lower than the United States, lower than Europe, lower than almost anywhere else. And before you think it's genetics or strict laws, it's not. It's a mental trick so simple that once you understand it, you'll wonder why no one taught you this before. I spent 2 years studying Japanese psychology and addiction recovery methods, and what I discovered changed everything I thought I knew about breaking bad habits. The Japanese don't rely on willpower. They don't believe in going cold turkey. Instead, they use something called Kaizen, and it's the exact opposite of how we approach addiction in the West. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to break down the 10 core principles that Japanese culture uses to prevent and overcome addiction. And here's the thing, you can start using these tonight. No therapy required, no expensive programs, just a fundamental shift in how you think about change. Let's get into it. Number 1, Kaizen, the 1% rule. In the West, we're obsessed with dramatic transformation. We want to quit smoking overnight, delete all social media, go from zero to fitness model in 30 days. The Japanese think this is insane. Kaizen literally means continuous improvement, but the secret is in how small those improvements are. Instead of trying to quit your addiction completely, you reduce it by 1% tomorrow, just 1%. If you smoke 20 cigarettes a day, tomorrow you smoke 19. That's it. The psychological burden is almost zero, so your brain doesn't trigger the panic response that makes most people relapse. But here's where it gets powerful. 1% compounds. In 70 days, you've cut your habit in half, not through suffering, but through mathematics. Number 2, Hara Hachi Bu, the 80% philosophy. This comes from Okinawa, where people live longer than almost anywhere on Earth. The phrase means eat until you're 80% full, but the principle extends far beyond food. The Japanese apply this to everything: work, relationships, entertainment, even rest. Why does this matter for addiction? Because addiction thrives on extremes. When you're completely deprived, you binge. When you binge, you feel guilty. When you feel guilty, you deprive yourself again. It's a cycle. The 80% rule breaks this. You're never fully indulging, but you're never fully restricting either. You exist in the sustainable middle, where addiction can't take root. Number 3, Meiwaku, social accountability without judgment. In Japanese culture, there's a concept called meiwaku, the idea that your actions shouldn't cause trouble or burden for others. This isn't about shame, it's about interconnectedness. When you're considering a destructive habit, you don't just think about yourself, you think about your family, your coworkers, your community. Western addiction recovery often focuses on the individual, your pain, your struggle, your journey. But Japanese psychology adds another layer. How does your addiction affect the people who depend on you? This isn't guilt-tripping, it's perspective. When you realize your habits ripple outward, you're less likely to rationalize them. You have a reason bigger than yourself. Number 4, Ikigai, purpose as the ultimate replacement. Here's something every addiction specialist knows. You can't just remove a bad habit, you have to replace it. The Japanese have a word for this replacement: Ikigai, your reason for being. It's the intersection of what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for. When someone has a clear Ikigai, addiction loses its appeal. Why? Because addiction is fundamentally about filling a void. Boredom, meaninglessness, disconnection, these are the real enemies. If you wake up every day with a sense of purpose, that void doesn't exist. You're not trying to escape your life, you're trying to live it. The Japanese don't just quit addictions, they build lives where addiction becomes irrelevant. Number 5, Misogi, the annual purification challenge. Once a year, many Japanese people undertake something called misogi, a ritual of extreme discipline. Traditionally, it's standing under a freezing waterfall or fasting for days. But the modern interpretation is this: choose one brutal challenge that proves to yourself you have control. Run a marathon, go 30 days without your phone, fast for 72 hours. The specific challenge doesn't matter. What matters is the psychological reset. After you complete something you thought was impossible, your old addiction suddenly seems manageable. You've expanded your sense of what you're capable of. It's like rebooting your entire operating system. Number 6. Shinrin Yoku, nature as dopamine reset. The Japanese have scientifically proven something that feels obvious once you hear it. Spending time in nature rewires your brain's reward system. They call it Shinrin Yoku, forest bathing, and it's not metaphorical. Studies show that 2 hours in a forest reduces cortisol, lowers blood pressure, and most important for addiction, resets your dopamine baseline. Most modern addictions, social media, gaming, porn, junk food, hijack your dopamine system. Your brain becomes numb to normal pleasures. Nature brings you back to baseline. The sound of a river, the smell of pine trees, the sight of sunlight through leaves, these activate reward pathways gently. You remember what natural pleasure feels like, and suddenly your addiction seems less appealing. Number 7. Zazen, observing cravings without acting. Zen meditation, Zazen, isn't about emptying your mind. It's about sitting with discomfort without reacting. When a craving hits, most people either give in immediately or try to suppress it through distraction. Both strategies fail long-term. The Japanese approach is different. Acknowledge the craving. Feel it fully. Notice where it appears in your body, the tightness in your chest, the restlessness in your hands. And then do nothing. Just watch it. Here's what happens. The craving peaks and then fades. It always does, usually in about 90 seconds. Once you've experienced this a few times, cravings lose their power. You realize they're just temporary sensations, not commands you must obey. Number 8. Shojin Ryori, Buddhist cuisine and taste reset. Monks in Japanese temples eat shojin ryori, simple vegetarian meals with minimal seasoning. Why does this matter? Because most addictive substances, sugar, salt, fat, alcohol, overstimulate your taste receptors. Your palate becomes numb. You need stronger and stronger hits to feel satisfied. Shojin ryori does the opposite. It's deliberately subtle. A piece of pickled radish, steamed vegetables, plain rice. At first, it seems bland, but after a few days, something shifts. You start tasting nuance, the sweetness in a carrot, the umami in seaweed. Your sensory system recalibrates, and suddenly, normal life becomes satisfying again. Number 9. The 5S system. External order creates internal control. This comes from Japanese manufacturing. Seiri, Seitan, Seiso, Seiketsu, Shitsuke. Sort, set in order, shine, standardize, sustain. It's a system for organizing physical spaces, but it has profound psychological effects. Cluttered environments trigger decision fatigue and stress, both of which make you more vulnerable to addictive behavior. When your space is organized, your mind follows. You feel more in control. You're less likely to reach for that quick dopamine hit because you're not operating from a place of chaos. Start with one room. Apply the 5S principles. Notice how your cravings change when your environment supports clarity instead of confusion. Number 10. Wabi-sabi, accepting imperfect progress. Here's the final piece, and it might be the most important. Wabi-sabi, the acceptance of imperfection. In the West, we think recovery is linear. One slip and we failed. We're back to square one. This all-or-nothing thinking destroys people. The Japanese see it differently. There's a practice called kintsugi, repairing broken pottery with gold. The cracks aren't hidden, they're highlighted. They become part of the object's beauty. Your relapses, your struggles, your imperfect progress, these aren't failures, they're part of your story. The goal isn't perfection, it's direction. As long as you're moving forward more often than backward, you're succeeding. So here's your action step. Pick one of these 10 principles, not all of them, just one. Start with the 1% rule, or forest bathing, or the 80% philosophy. Apply it for 30 days. Track what changes. The Japanese don't believe in overnight transformation. They believe in continuous improvement, and that's exactly what you're going to do. If this resonated with you, subscribe for more Japanese wisdom applied to modern life. And let me know in the comments, which of these 10 principles are you going to try first? I read every comment. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.